Hello all and welcome to episode 3 of Dialogue with Director, and today we have a very special guest among us, Brother Solomon Morris, who is the principal of St. Edmunds School. So brother, I think everyone knows you in and around Meghalaya, so we'll not go to the introduction, but so what is the purpose of education?
Oh, that's it's a loaded question, but it's got a lot of things. I suppose my perspective on the purpose of education would be for a child to develop his potential. Every child is gifted in some way. There are so many facets, and I think a school should provide that platform for a child to develop his potential.
Right. NEP says that we should try to, learning is not the thing, but children should learn how to learn. Do you agree with this phase?
Absolutely, yeah. To make them self-learners, they discover themselves, and there's no end to learning. So to give them those skills by which you can equip them to keep learning.
So coming to the next, what are the 3 fundamental changes as per you which are needed in Meghalaya to improve education? 3. There are many, but we'll focus on 3.
Yes. I would say one key, the most important would be to make sure our teachers are well trained to teach, to handle children in the classroom. That's one. Teachers, you train the teachers to be facilitators rather than just transmitting knowledge. Teachers need to be facilitators, how to facilitate children to learn. That's 2. Third would be to allow children of all diverse, range of learners to thrive in a conducive atmosphere. So like teachers, I think we need to, for me, the teachers need to be gardeners who provide the right atmosphere where the kid can grow, bloom where they are planted. So again, as I said, from what I'm saying to you, the fundamental aspect would be the teacher's role in education.
So we have 55,000 teachers in Meghalaya.
Right.
So and if you say teacher training, so what about these days now online trainings and all are coming up, and then most of the focus, because the volume is so much, the focus is moving towards the online training. So what are your views vis-a-vis this online training versus physical training? Because physical training will be a big task. Although NEP also says that every teacher should get 50 hours of TPD every year. That means 50 hours of training every year.
Right.
So that's a challenge. So what are your views, this physical training versus online training?
Yeah, so I can see a clear divide in these, because in fact, right now our teachers are attending the training programs conducted by the ICSE.
Online?
Online,
okay.
Yeah. So they're all from 3 to 5.
Okay.
Different teachers from different subjects, from class middle school to class 10, and it's going on. But where I see the problem is when you have the rural-urban divide. That's where the online training will be a bit of an issue. So for that, we need to reach out to them and to have a, on-the-ground training. Now it's a colossal task. The distance, the road, logistics, that's my thing.
Okay, so maybe a blended mode for now.
Absolutely.
So one of the points, third point you mentioned, conducive environment for learning. So how do we make that in schools?
Oh my God, they say, this is what I'm just quoting a person called Ken Robinson, the educationist. He said that if you provide the right conditions, like a plant, even in the Death Valley, you can get the plant to grow, provided you just need to provide the right conditions, the soil, water, nutrients. Similarly, we need to provide this condition in the classroom where the child is able to, express himself, grow. But for that, I believe a teacher needs to have a fundamental knowledge of the child. You need to know the kid where he comes from. Now I understand 50 kids is not easy, but still when you see any issues surfacing, some child being aggressive in the class or not doing his work, you need to take him privately and find out where he's coming from and get into his wavelengths, and then the empathy takes over. So to me, understanding a child, primary importance. It's like a plant. Some plants require this kind of a soil. Some require so much of sunlight. Some require a little bit of, water. So if you know the kids, then you can provide. And that's the first step to learning. Once you know the child, central to me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So next is, we have heard so much about you and how good St. Edmunds is doing. So what are the innovations you have initiated in your school? Like any special approaches which you can share with everyone? So many principals will be watching this. So yeah.
So I would say first of all, your entire staff, I'm talking about the entire staff, teaching staff, admin staff, support staff, they all need to be informed about the ethos of the school, the principles of the school, what is expected, right to grads to even the parents need to know this is the philosophy of the school, this is what we look for. That's one.
And so what is the philosophy of St. Edmunds?
To let the kid grow in a very, very friendly atmosphere where kids feel accepted. They want to come to school. They love to come to school. I keep telling the parents, the day your child is reluctant to come to school, that's a red flag. Let us know. And we need to know why he doesn't want to come to school. So we need to do something about it. The day a child is dragging himself to school, then it's a sign that something is not right and we need to address that. So to make a child feel acceptable, accepted, and the dignity, to uphold the dignity of the child, to me that is central. To me that is what is important.
Okay.
So can you just go back to the question?
Innovations.
Innovations. Now I knew I had something. So that's the first thing. Now, in order for the child to develop fully, now ICSE offers a lot of subjects, optional subjects, and which I don't think many schools are offering the children because of infrastructure, limitations. So now it's up to the school. So this, one of the things we've done, we've introduced a lot of other subjects, optional subjects in class 9 and 10, mass media communication, hospitality management, fashion designing, cookery, EVS, physical education, robotics and artificial intelligence we've introduced, Spanish we've introduced.
Amazing.
So
NEP talks about this, bringing in all these VEs into the schooling, secondary school.
Yes, even now, recently, I just finished a class this morning at 7:15. I took the kids. Because of the time constraints, I can't take the classes. They can't put them into the normal classes. So I take them in the morning at 7:15. These kids are doing automobile repairing and technicians optional course. And 2 guys have opted for cashier and 2 guys have opted for data entry operator. It's a new field,
right?
And the idea is get the kids exposed, and then one of the things that we've done is we have a creation week. 1 week,
creation week.
Creation week,
okay, wow.
Where the kids create. There are about 36 events. Including photography, advertisement, movie making, graffiti, document. Like there is so many, rangoli, flower show, cooking. Cooking, now we normally think it's associated with women, girls. You should see the children, the little ones from class 5 to 10 cooking. It's amazing.
Wow.
So to me, these, if you do this.
When is the next creation week?
Next year, 100%. You must come. Oh, you must come. And you'll see the labs. We convert the labs into the cooking thing. So we've got plug points. I've arranged plug points, big, for the ovens and all that. And the kids go in there. Oh, it's fascinating.
Amazing.
It's really fascinating.
Amazing. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, so basically if you have these type of things, plus the normal activity, sports and swimming and all stuff like that, kids want to come to school.
Yes, but one major challenge what other schools have expressed is that lack of space and lack of this thing. So how do you manage? So I mean, so many disciplines you have introduced in your VE vocational. So how are you managing this?
It is difficult, I know, but thank God we have space.
Okay.
Because of our field, we have our labs, and we have to continuously keep being creative. So we have 2, 3 or 4 extra rooms, so we make sure, and the logistics of making timetable for this is the worst. Okay. It's a nightmare for the principal.
Yes.
So this is where you need to really put your head and do
Great.
it. Yeah.
So optimizing your resources.
Yeah.
Next is how do you engage parents, because they are very important also apart from the school. So unless they are involved, you will not get the result what you want. So how do you make sure that they are completely involved in the learning process of the children?
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a good question. So I keep in touch with the parents regularly through newsletters.
Okay.
I keep sending the parents newsletters right across, and it's not just it's Mother's Day, Father's Day, Grandparents' Day. And then we invite the parents. Anytime the kid is performing on stage, we invite the parents. But constant communication with the parents through newsletters, it's fascinating. To me, it's any festivals that come, I'll have something to say. Whether it's Christmas or Diwali or whatever, we keep sending. And then we get feedback from them. How do you find, midterm is over, how do you find the school? Are you happy with this? Do you have anything to say, any suggestions? And feel free, if you want to put your name, you're most welcome. If you don't want to put your name, you're most welcome. And it works wonders. And I share the feedback with the teachers. This is your report card. This is your report card?
No.
Act on it.
No. So active communication. Basically.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Very essential.
Great. How often do you call them for PTAs?
Yeah. Actually, there is no fixed routine. If I feel one class needs to come to address certain issues, we call them. But generally, let's say one before the year, first term, and one in the second term.
Okay.
Right? But there is no limitation. So I keep telling the parents, don't just wait for the PTM to happen. You're most welcome to meet the teachers after school. See, our teachers wait from 2:20 to 3:20. 1 hour after school they wait and they prepare their lessons. So that's the time the parents can come and meet.
Okay.
Them.
Wow. Any day they can come and meet.
Yes. Another thing that helps me, I'll tell you, I'll share this with the principals also. I stand in front of the school as the parents bring their children. So number of kids, they pass, they wish me. So the parents who want to talk to me, I deal with them there itself.
Wow. That's
so
great.
I don't have to bring them to the office.
Yes.
Quickly,
It's wonderful.
Yeah. So that helps a lot.
Yes. So I think you are accessible and your teachers are very accessible. That is helping.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Sure.
So now next is what is your take on the NEP 2020 pertaining to the school part?
First of all, I think it's very challenging. It's you need to have a different mindset. There's a total paradigm shift, and some of the aspects of NEP I would definitely imbibe, inculcate, but there are some that I would, be a little cagey about. Like for example, the language thing. Like I'm not too sure whether it'll go down too well.
Okay.
The 3 language formula, because we in Meghalaya at least, I find that it'll be a little difficult to implement. So I don't know how that is going to go, but the concept of having vocational education, multidisciplinary things, options later on in a higher education, I think it's a very good move. But again, huge spade work to be done.
Yes.
Massive,
of course. What do you think of the Bagless Days?
Great, it's a great concept. But as I said to you, sir, this Creation Week itself is a Bagless Day. 7 days.
You're already doing it.
Yeah, we are doing it. And then also, I feel the Bagless Days is good provided you have the school organized.
Right.
Very well, so that the classes go on well, Yeah, but then since we have the Creation Week, we have so many. Now, right now, the children are preparing for the carnival. There are 6 groups practicing in different parts of the school. They're having their own band. We're not getting our anybody from outside. Kids themselves are playing from class 6 to class 10. Right? Bagless Days. They're just
right.
So,
Right, great.
Yeah.
So next is the one intriguing. What is the future of education?
Yeah, I suppose.
How do you see it changing?
Changing, yeah. I think it's going to evolve with so much of technology coming in, so much of resources available online. I feel we need to train our children to learn for themselves. The future depends on self-motivation and how much you can really push yourself to learn in different diverse fields. So the role of a teacher now is going to be one where you train children to be independent learners. You know, I think one of the subjects that should be introduced is information processing and documentation. I feel that if the teachers can train the children, here's an article, read it, right? And give it back to me in your own words.
Okay.
So basically, I was telling, I'll just share one idea that came. I'm going to introduce it next year.
Okay.
It's called, there's a program before we used to have it, BBC had it, called Mastermind, right? A Brain of Britain.
Okay.
Right. And I think Siddharth Basu took it and made it into Mastermind. Now can you imagine, the next year I'm going to do this. You tell the kids, you prepare a topic that you want to excel in, to really study, research, do research in. Right. Go and study that. Let's say dolphins, or let's say the volcano, or the Antarctica, Pacific, whatever. You choose a topic, do a thorough study on it. We'll ask you questions.
Okay.
Right? So can you imagine you're teaching little ones to become researchers.
Right, that's great.
You know?
And in the process they can discover what they like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You give them the choice.
Good idea.
Yeah. So we're going to do that next year.
Wow.
And we call them the brain of Edmunds.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. One more thing I want to know, homeschooling is coming up, and now there are a lot of apps where teachers are available online anytime you want. So children can study from home. So do you think this is as like a substitute to proper schooling, or like how it will evolve?
I don't think it will substitute a teacher. The human element will be missing.
Right.
The whole dynamics of a relationship, the empathy, the feelings, that I don't think you can substitute that at all. Absolutely no. In fact, I'm also against tuitions.
Okay.
I'm very much against tuitions.
Okay.
I mean, if the teachers can do the job, why do you need tuitions?
Exactly. Right.
I'm totally against it. I wrote a letter to the parents also, giving the pros and cons of tuitions. Mostly cons. I'm against the tuition.
Okay.
Make them learners, make them independent learners.
Yes, right.
I mean, if you don't have decent teachers, let's say good teachers, I can understand. Okay, we need to do something there. But teachers are available after school, you ask them, why do you want to take tuitions? Look at the amount of time you waste. Then you're spoon feeding them. You're not allowing them to be independent learners. So same concept for this homeschooling thing. You need. I'm not saying you can't do it, provided the guy is motivated, self-motivated. But you need a human, because dealing with people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one last question in context of Meghalaya. You have heard of STEMs?
Yes.
What are your views on that?
You're talking about the bus thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sustainable transport.
Yeah. No, I read the papers the other day that it's not functioning as it's supposed to be. Now, for what reason, I'm not really sure.
Have parents given you any feedback on the STEMs? And
I think we've got quite a number of kids using it.
okay.
Quite a number of children using it. I was surprised actually. I thought the numbers would be low, but I think it's over 50 plus kids are using it.
Very good.
129 or something like that,
Oh,
if I'm
wow.
not mistaken.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I saw the data from the thing. But I think, the arteries, the roads are totally blocked. You see, what's happening is I believe 40 cars are added every day. 40 private cars are added. So where will the STEM get a chance to mobilize, no? How will they move?
Right.
They're getting choked, no? And then people are, nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a very well thought out system, the STEMs thing. But, you know, parents want to still stick to their cars, which I find is I think there is no uniform willpower.
Okay.
We need to do something about that.
The more I see basically, because I myself have joined one of the buses one day in the morning, and I found it very useful and wonderful. And safety features are amazing. You know, parents can track using an app, and there are caretakers to take them from dropping point to school, everything. And each bus, if you see, will reduce 30 cars, you know, and saves parents time. Because they are going there to drop again, coming back again, going and all that. So all those things are there. So maybe more I see. What feedback we have received is that pricing is a little high. So that's, they are working on it. So hopefully in the next academic session we'll see more takers for this STEM. So lastly, because so many of educationists are watching, any message for them?
I would say the message is put the child at the focus. Make the child the focus of your mission, your job, your profession, your vocation. For me, it's a vocation. I'm a religious, so let the child be the center. Once you have that, everything falls into place. You take now, there's so many things that are happening now in the education scenario. Where are we going wrong? Because the child is not the beneficiary.
Right.
Once we keep the child at the focus, then Tagore's dream will come true.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Let my country away.
Yeah, that's very nice. So a wonderful message that child should be at the center of whatever we are thinking, whatever policies we are making, or whatever approaches to improve education. Child should be at the center. So hope you have, thank you so much Brother Solomon, and hope you have liked this one and the previous one. If you know any students who are doing something different, any teachers who are doing some innovative ways, any principals, please let us know. So we'll bring them on this podcast. Thank you for showing your love, and keep sharing and keep liking. Thank you. Kublai Shibun, Mithila.